The Atlanta Braves get it done, and they needed that one. Mauricio Dubon, Eli White, Mike Yastrzemski, just the Braves win by the skin of their teeth, and, hopefully end this skid that they've been on, lost 6 of their last 7 coming into this game, and their reward for the slump? Congratulations, you have to face the best pitcher in baseball, and you get the Mizorowski. So, Atlanta basically looked like how Philly did against him for 5 innings. They were able to string together, they've had a few hits. I believe there was a walk in there in the first 5 innings, but Mizorowski looked near untouchable. Anytime the Braves had a runner on, was either, there was a near double play that Dubon hit into. There was just, the Braves looked lost, and I don't blame them. Mizorowski is legitimately, he's so fun to watch, but he did make Atlanta look silly because he's just doing that to everybody right now. So, hats off to Jacob Mizorowski, but the Braves in the 6th inning came out with a plan of attack. Jorge Mateo manages to hit an infield single just sprinting. He pays to have the 3rd fastest man in baseball on your roster because he can do stuff like that. And as soon as you get a base runner, it's a chance to generate a rally, especially against a pitcher like this, where you have to take any little thing you can get and just try to expand on it as little as you can. Because the odds of you running into, 104 miles an hour down the middle, pretty low. If you do get there, cool, but Mizorowski not giving up a lot of home runs this year. In fact, in his last 8 starts, he has not given up an earned run. So, insane for Atlanta. So, starting the rally in the 6th was Jorge Mateo. Just a single to the shortstop. Very, very softly hit. Mateo actually came up a little bit limpy, but hopefully there's nothing of it. He did seem to be a little in pain during his last at-bat, so hopefully it might just be a get off of it for a day and you'll feel better, or go to sleep tonight and feel better, but Braves cannot afford to lose anybody else right now. So, Mateo singles, Ozzie just manages to catch up to a fastball, puts it right up the middle. Braves have some action going. 1st and 2nd with with 1 out. Matt Olson works one of the best at-bats you will see him work all year, and this is from a man who is known to extend ABs to, 9, 10, 11, sometimes even 12 or 13 pitches. And he manages to draw a walk, got a heavy, heavy dosage of cutters, if you can even, a cutter at 99 miles an hour is insanity, to go with a slider that's just slightly slower. So, really, really, really difficult. Matt Olson fouled off a bunch of pitches, a lot that were outside of the zone, but eventually lays off for ball 4. And the bases are loaded for Dominic Smith, who does not come up big for Atlanta. So, at this point, I'm thinking to myself, it's okay here if the Braves don't score. As bad as it would be to load the bases up against Mizorowski, you haven't had anything going all night. If you don't score, that's okay, because you've ran his pitch count up enough that he should at least be pulled from the game in the next inning. I think this is probably it for him. So you're not looking, at the end of the 5th, it looked like he might throw another complete game. Because he had only thrown, 56 pitches through 5 innings. And the Braves, finally, though, able to take some pitches, just draw a walk, and get some contact where it needed to go for the first time in what feels like forever. So, bases loaded, 2 out, and Mauricio Dubon enters. And Dubon was sold to Braves fans by Astros fans. I remember when this trade happened, he is a really, really good utility player. He's a guy who's a fan favorite, goes out there, works extremely hard, can play pretty much every position on the field. He's a good guy to have in your clubhouse. And, yeah, that's pretty good. The Braves traded just Nick Allen for him, so an improvement there, just because you can play multiple positions, and the bat's a little bit better than Nick Allen. That's what you expect. You did not expect Mauricio Dubon to have, I gotta check this. Yes, the sixth highest WRC plus in Major League Baseball. He's got a 222 WRC plus. That's weighted runs created plus. So it takes into account a lot of clutch moments that he shows up in. And to show you exactly how clutch Mauricio Dubon is, this is a stat from tonight. Mauricio Dubon is now hitting 394 on the season. I will repeat that. 394 with 2 outs and runners in scoring position. So, and that's not a small sample size. I know that sounds like one of those cherry pick stats. I mean, that's 30. There's 33 at bats there for Mauricio Dubon. 13 for 33. That'll absolutely play. And as a guy who was not expected to start for this team, but because of the injury to Ha-Seong Kim, was put right into action. And with all the other injuries, he's playing a lot more frequently than I think anyone thought he would in spring training, or, I mean, really up until opening day. So Mauricio Dubon, he was hyped up. The entire team, you could almost feel the energy release, that stress just release for them once Mauricio came through with that big hit. Because they've just been unable to come through with runners in scoring position during this slump. And tonight, they were able to come through. Mauricio just dumps it into left field. Ozzie hauling around third, and probably the most graceful slide of his career as he goes tumbling over home plate. And the Braves take a 2-1 lead. Mike Yastrzemski in the 7th inning hits a solo shot to lead off the inning into the chop house. I made a comment to one of my buddies that after seeing like 102, 103 all night, and with the extension that Mizorowski has, where it even appears to be like 108, 109 at times, 98 down the middle, or even in the zone, has to look like a beach ball to everybody. Just absolute, like 98 is throwing harder than pretty much everyone, but maybe 2 players. I think Didier can throw that hard, and Robert Suarez. Are those the only Braves pitchers that can? Chris Sale can get up there sometimes. So pretty much the only Braves pitching, or the only guys in the Braves staff who can get up that high, are your top of the line relievers and starter. And that was who was coming out of the pen tonight for Milwaukee. And it looked like a beach ball because it's so much slower than what Mizorowski did. Before we get to the thrilling conclusion of this game, I want to talk about Martin Perez. Martin Perez lights out yet again for the Braves. He wins this start because he exits at the end of the, or he actually gets out of the 6th. Very, very stressful inning for him, but is able to get out of it thanks to a double play from Jorge Mateo. Hard hit ball, one of the hardest hit off of him all night. Luckily goes straight to Mateo, who doubles up the runner at second. But Perez had it tonight. Just on point. The location is fantastic. And it's really, really hard to believe that the Braves DFA'd him not once, but twice in April. And I know there's probably 29 other Major League Baseball teams that are kicking themselves that they did not pick up Martin Perez, who is, I mean, statistically, he is playing like an all-star. He's not going to start the game. I think it'll be Mizorowski who starts that game. However, Perez absolutely deserves to get his second all-star season. I mean, his second all-star bid. So, and all of that as a journeyman, he's had a fantastic career. And just, well, how old are you, Mr. Martin Perez? I know you are you're getting up there. Yeah, 35. So, in terms of pitching years, there's older, but he's had a very good career in the big leagues. I mean, this is his 9th team, just absolutely carved out a niche for himself. He locates better than anybody in the game. And, I mean, I think they pointed it out on the radio broadcast that both pitchers were perfect in the first inning. and they did it in completely different ways. The average fastball for Mizorowski was 102 miles an hour, while the average fastball for Martin Perez was 88 miles an hour. So there's a lot of ways to get outs in the big leagues. One's flashy, but tonight it was not the flashy pitcher who got the win. It was Martin Perez, who has been ultra reliable, and along with people like Mauricio Dubon and Jorge Mateo, have been unsung heroes of the Atlanta Braves. Fantastic pickups by Alex Anthopoulos to shake up the feel of this team a little bit. So Atlanta manages to win this game, a lot of it because Martin Perez kept them in it for 6 innings, only gave up the 1 run, and really didn't allow much hard contact all night long. But we have to talk about the thrilling conclusion of this game. So Eli White put on a defensive clinic tonight. First, running down a ball in that was going to be fair in the corner in left field. Probably went 30 or 40 yards to go get it. Manages to snag it once again. I mentioned, second fastest player in baseball. So Jorge Mateo is the third. Eli White's the second. It pays to have speed. What's the term? Speed kills. So there you go. Eli White gets it done with his legs in the 7th inning. Shuts down a big, at least saves 1 run because there was a runner on second during that. Martin Perez absolutely that was not Martin Perez. That was Dylan Lee who got saved there. And then later in the 9th inning, runners on first and second. Runners on second and third. Hit, dumped into left field. Yelich is going to score. Churrio's coming around third. This ball was not hit that hard, but it's pretty shallow in left. Churrio's a good runner. And Eli White with an absolutely perfect throw that brings Drake Baldwin directly into Churrio's path. Churrio slides directly into the tag. The Brewers challenge, it does not matter. He's out. And Rysell, who struggled tonight, but all 3 bullpen guys really were not sharp, but I don't expect them to be because they haven't pitched in a week. I mean, Dylan Lee, Robert Suarez, Rysell Iglesias, all of them are having all-star caliber seasons, and they just haven't pitched. The Braves have had 2 rainouts. They've not been in many close games, so there hasn't been a reason for them to pitch. So it is expected for them to be a little rusty. But Rysell, on a changeup, gets the strikeout with the next batter. And Atlanta wins 3-2 in Game 1 of this series against the Brewers. A game that felt like October. So I personally don't want any part of this Brewers team during October. Because, I think that they're just a very, very well put together team. But so are the Braves. The Braves have been not good. We'll say that. We'll be nice over the past week and a half. But tonight, they look like they might have got their swagger back. And hopefully that's the case. Because tomorrow, it doesn't get it gets a little easier. We can be honest about that. Chris Sale will take the mound for Atlanta, so you need to win those games when your ace is on the mound. The Braves have not done that a lot lately. Chris Sale, I wait for his line to load. My Wi-Fi is very slow tonight. Chris Sale 8-5 with a 2.30 ERA, 92 strikeouts, has looked a little rusty himself, not as sharp as you would expect. People have pointed out too much rest. Well, he's going to come out of a lot of rest again tomorrow. So Chris Hill, ultimate professional. He'll go out there and give you a quality start. Kyle Harrison will oppose him, another lefty. 8-1, 2.47 ERA, 80 strikeouts. The Braves have a lefty problem at the moment. Hopefully tomorrow they can solve it. Michael Harris is out at the moment. So hopefully there's a chance that he might get seen tomorrow. The Braves said they think he'll avoid the IL, and he would have been available possibly to pinch hit tonight. So hopefully there's a possibility that he can go, maybe even as just a DH. But we'll see how the Braves play it. Until tomorrow, though, I'm Caden Sturgis. Keep the faith, Braves fans. Peace out, and keep on chopping.